10 years ago, I embarked when I was like 31 or something. I embarked on a journey which was very much about personal freedom and about, at first, a lot about gender expression, which I now can see was kind of retrieving something that I've lost or that I've suppressed, at a young age. Because as a kid, I was also dressing up in my mom's clothes. And there were some things like this. And at some point, I left that and then rediscovered it again. And and in that, and facing the external challenges in the world and facing my inner limitations around stepping up for my freedom, um, I discovered space creation, world creation, that you can create new rule sets, at least temporarily in certain containers. And I created some festivals, which I now see as, oh yeah, it was hard for me to do it in the world, so I created a new world. Um, After having done that a few times, the the thing became apparent to me that Michael also spoke into. It's like, but I want to bridge these artificial containers with the normal world. And in fact, I remember the last email that I wrote on the Nibbana newsletter was Nibbana is the real world. Like, yeah, we are here, actually there is no separation. Um, but also wanting to reach people who could not maybe afford the time or money to step into these containers. So that's how my book project was born. Then I found out, oh fuck, this book is such a huge undertaking, and I was so much confronted with how little I actually knew. I was so naive when I started it, which is great. Otherwise, I would have never started it. Um, but it's been a very humbling journey of realizing so much that I didn't know, and really also a journey of unpacking my own privileges and yeah, so on. And mm, while I'm now at a point where I see, okay, there's infinite to know about this, and to say that I know a lot is the most naive thing to say on the one hand. On the other hand, I feel like, oh, I've reached a point where I do really have sensible things to say, and my perspective has broadened a lot. Um, and my facilitator skills have upgraded a lot. Um, yeah, and I'm being recognized in that, and I see it now in feedback forms and reflections, and also from peers and the opportunities that I'm slowly starting to get. So I'm like, okay, that's one thing. And then there's the movements in the world, which are like, fuck, where for some time last year I was collapsing under this. Up until December, I was really in a very depressed state of it's all pointless. How can the world ever work? How can I ever find my way in it, doing something that's useful and at the same time I can sustain myself in this system. Uh, so I collapsed under it. I decided to spend a lot of money on a coach who I'm now doing a 6-month thing with. And actually, within the first few weeks, where she just encouraged me to actually start with regulating my nervous system, this was such a big turn, and I came back into creation and positivity and so on. And while I definitely on the rational level, wait,
Your video is frozen for me.
yeah,
I can still
uh,
hear you though.
I can also still hear you.
it was also
There you
frozen
go.
for me. So while I definitely uh, on a intellectual level not necessarily have the highest hopes for this world and or humans in it, uh, I do want to do my contribution to for the better. That's not smaller than it could be, but that's also not so big that I will wear myself out doing it. So I want to find that that middle ground. There's this Greek tale, right, about this guy who shouldn't fly too high, not too low with the sun and the water.
Icarus.
Icarus, yes, that guy. So I want to pull a nice Icarus move where the idea
Well,
is to oh well
Icarus got
don't
burned.
yeah a better ending or not, who knows, like there's no knowing, but at least I want to fly at the right height. And um yeah, and I stand on the one hand with confidence in that, seeing, for example, what we did with this last group, Michael, and at the same time I stand in humility, and we don't know what it will be like, but we can step into the experiment. We can be fully welcome to the wisdom of the team, of the group, and figure it out together. Um, uh, the main criticism that I would have towards myself would be, why start a new initiative when there are so many initiatives? Um, but I do believe that I have a quality of bringing certain pieces together that I actually cannot find in the world where they are being brought together in the way that makes sense to me. So I trust um, that it makes sense to do that. And my desire is to, like, we're also doing this Path of Real Moments again next year, but my desire is to step it up and do a bit of a longer container, and to do it with a group of people who also have the creator energy. So I'm spending a lot of time in facilitator trainings these days, first as a participant, then as an assistant. Now, next year, probably I will be some kind of core team member in that with Rachel Rickards from Embodied Intimacy. And I'm learning a lot about training facilitators, but this is mostly people who want to be, let's say, paid workshop facilitators, or who already are paid workshop facilitators. And I love a phrase that I use is facilitate your life. And and that's basically what I want to create in this course, is encourage people to facilitate their life for the good of themselves and the good of the people around them and the good of the greater whole. Um, and that's what I love about the word humanity, that humanity points both at the bigger, uh, our species, but it also points at what makes humans human, our humanity, our feelings, the capacity to enjoy touch, etc. Okay, take a breath.